Hey there, welcome to the Synchro Leap channel. Back here for another video. This one's going to be about taking the blame for when something goes wrong. Because it's something that a lot of people have the tendency to not admit their mistakes, or they want to be easy on themselves and tell them, it wasn't in my hands, it was because of this and because of that. And it's always true. Never be angry with yourself for making a mistake, because we're always going to make mistakes. It always happens. So the sooner that you can accept that you're going to make mistakes and aren't afraid to admit it to at least yourself, just to yourself, okay? It should be possible to be honest with you. There has to be one person that's always honest to you. Make that person be you, because it might feel more comfortable, especially when it's something that we would have liked to have done differently, or a situation went different than we wanted it to, and we can blame it on someone else. It feels more comfortable in the short term, but in the long run, it's a very big waste, because every time that something goes wrong or not the way you want it, of course, there are external factors. All of the time, it's a combination of things that made it go wrong. But we have to be careful not to downplay our own ability in preventing that from happening. Because what happens is, if something goes wrong, like back in high school, when you made a test and you failed your test, then you would need to make sure that the next tests are better. So you would go look back on what mistakes you made, because you wouldn't want to do the year over. So there was a motivation to look at the mistakes you made and look at the theory again and look, where did I go wrong here? And you try to figure it out, and eventually you can pinpoint exactly where you went wrong, and you learn how to do it correctly. From then on, you continue building on that. This is something that you can not stop doing after high school. You have to be doing it your whole life, or every mistake that you make could be a win for you. You literally don't have to have a single loss in your life, as long as you can take the blame for when things go wrong. As long as you can see that you have the capability that next time you're in a similar situation, even though there are also external factors, make sure that you always look at what could I have done to have prevented this from happening. Even if others played a big role in it, how can I be prepared for that next time? Because you have to see external factors. They're a rule of the game. You can change the external factors. It's always possible. Unexpected things come up. And it's always going to be like that. You can only change how well prepared you are and how flexible you are in those situations, and how capable you are to still make sure that it goes the way you want to. So every time a mistake happens, take some time and look, what could I have done differently to make sure that this went better? What can I do next time that I didn't do this time? And don't be angry with yourself, okay? Blame yourself and tell yourself, hey, you could have prevented this, but don't get angry or don't start sobbing about it. Just accept it and see this as a valuable opportunity to make yourself just that little bit better, so next time you don't make that mistake. And I'm sure that you realize, if you think about it, when you do this constantly, every lesson that you learn, you'll only have to learn one time. But if you choose the comfortable route and be like, oh, it's their fault, it's the fault of that, then okay, you might not feel like you did anything wrong. You might even be able to push it out of your head, the thought of being wrong. But deep down, you know something, I could have done something different. But if you do it that way, you don't learn anything, okay? Next time the same situations comes up and something different externally happens, and you didn't learn to prepare for those things, because last time you just blamed it on that and thought it was out of my control, and the same thing happens and it goes wrong again, and you become demotivated. Then you start saying things like, oh, everything I try, things go wrong, I'm always unlucky. But it's not so. The universe is going to keep on giving you the same lesson till you learn the lessons you need to learn. And if that same scenario, if the first time it went wrong and the second time comes along, and once again different types of external situations happen that make what you were planning to do difficult, but if you last time took the lesson from it and thought, unexpected things can happen, let's see that bringing this to at least a decent outcome is 90% in my hands. So make sure that the biggest part of it is in your hands. Even if someone else screws something up, or even if something unexpected happens, let that only influence on how good it went. Don't let it be possible that the actions of someone else make it fail. And you can do this in different ways. But of course, it's possible that the situation comes up where you have to depend on someone else. So I get that you're wondering what in those situations, because sometimes someone might have a skill that you don't have, which you really need for this. Well, if last time, for example, your goal failed because someone didn't come through at the last moment, or he wasn't prepared enough, then you know the next time, I have to make sure that at least like 2 days ahead I do a little checkup to see, is this person ready, and make sure that I communicate it with him well. Learn how he's feeling, ask him how it's going, so that you know what you can expect. That is also a way of controlling stuff, because if you even notice that it's not going to work out, at least you don't have to let it be a surprise failure. You could make this decision, you could make the conscious decision, this project will have to postpone it, and you won't have failed. But when you have a deadline set for a project, let's say, then of course, if at the day itself it turns out that it wasn't ready, or 1 day before it had to be done, then it's a failure, because you weren't planning on postponing it. But when you notice ahead in time, hey, there are troubles, let's postpone it, that's also a way to control things going in the right direction. Sometimes saying that it won't work, but letting it be out of your own control, out of your own preparedness, because you checked in on the project, because you checked it, you realized it's not going to get ready by then. That's not a failure. That's a reschedule, a replanning. And the more that you can control in this way, the more that you do not depend on guarantees from others, the more that you depend on your own capabilities and seeing how you can move within those, the better. And the better that you get at that is by every time something went wrong, ask yourself, how could I have personally prevented this from happening? And you will grow fast. I promise you this. Thank you for listening. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, because it really helps me get motivated to do this, and it shows me that people are interested in it. And if you have anything negative to say, I'm also all ears. Let me know. Okay? My DMs are also always open if you don't like to do it in a comment. Thank you for watching.